Hello everyone. It's Lindsay Landry, energy alchemist and heart shaman for healers and soul-led entrepreneurs who are ready to call in deep prosperity, intimacy, success. I'm so excited about this new series that I'm doing. So first off, welcome. Say hi below. Let me know if you are here live or if you're watching the replay. You can type in replay below. So I was inspired to create this 4-part series, I Am Magic. And over the next 4 days, I'm going to be sharing energy tools, techniques, tips to help you anchor in to the magic that you have within. So this is all about deepening your intuition, getting into alignment with yourself, your divine nature, and opening the floodgates for flow. All right. So today we're going to be sort of setting a foundation for what is energy, how does this work, setting intentions, and each day things are going to deepen. So each day we're going to deepen in. So that's what we're doing here. If you know anyone who can benefit from this, please share it. Please share it with them or tag them below so that they can find the video. I deeply appreciate the shares. So I'm in this place of desiring to expand my visibility, allow my work to reach more people. So your support in doing that is deeply appreciated. Yeah. The last thing that I want to say before we dive in, the dog is looking at me, tilting his head. Do you want to come sit by me? Okay. The last thing that I want to say before we dive in is if at any time you want to go deeper, into the content, or you feel like this is really speaking to you and you know that you need support with these things, just feel free to send me a message, reach out to me. I do have some spots to work with me one-on-one in my prosperity breakthrough packages. And I'm also planning to lead a 6-week energy course. So it's going to be an energetic toolkit 6-week course, basically. And we're going to do that live. So that's going to be happening later this month. So if that's something you're interested in deepening your intuition and learning tools and techniques to really work with energy so that you can deepen into alignment, deepen into flow, then let me know so that I can get you information on that, okay? All right. So let's go ahead and dive in. So today we're going to be talking all about your energy. Your energy is everything. And what I want to say is I began to deepen into this work around 2015, 2016. Before that, I had already began teaching energy work, energy healing, and I was doing it from a very intuitive place. And when I began to learn tools and techniques to like hone in on it and direct the energy more intentionally, what happened is I noticed my manifestations. I noticed things being attracted to me, whether that's people, relationships, money, opportunities. It all started to happen so much quicker and with so much more ease and so much more flow. It's like I learned to direct my energetic channel, right? So this is some of what we're doing here. We're like building your channel and then you're learning to direct that energy. So, you know, this is no matter where you are in your life, whether you're wanting to get more results in your business. Maybe you're wanting to shift the energy in your relationship. Your energy in your relationship, it might be kind of stagnant. The intimacy might kind of be, hot and cold. There might be some old patterns, programming, where there's a lot of resistance and it feels kind of stagnant. These tools can help you. Or if you're working at a job and you don't love your job and you're wanting to attract something new or figure out what is your next thing, right? This can help you. This can support you. So you can apply this to wherever you are in your life, in your business, in your relationship. One thing that I like to say is, how we do one thing, we do all things. And when we're working on energy, like when we're working with energy on this level, if you imagine having a wagon wheel. So the center of the wheel has like the main little area, right? And then there's all these spokes, and then there's the outside of the wheel. If we're trying to operate from the outside of the wheel, which is how we typically operate and how we're taught to operate by society, right? What happens is we're like having to go to each of these things. So we're like tending the children, we're tending our relationship, we're tending our job, we're doing all of these things, and it takes a lot of energy. And not that long ago, like I was in this space. Like I was trying to get the pieces in place for my business. I was trying to manage things in my relationship, and I was exhausted. I was burnt out, and I knew that there was a different way. And yet, it was like at that time, my energy was so depleted that it was really challenging for me to, anchor in, when we're operating from the center of the wheel. So we have the outside, all these spokes, and then we have the center. When we're operating from the center, everything can be reached at once, right? It's like when you're in your power, when you are in alignment with yourself, with your divine nature, just by being you, the energy starts to shift and align around you. You're not having to do all of the work. And this is, when I'm working with entrepreneurs and they begin to click into this place, they begin to attract things with so much more ease. It's like ideas come to them and they have the clarity that they need. And then the action step presents itself and the clients start showing up. And it's not this like mapped out strategy of how they're going to do the thing. They just enter this state of flow where everything starts to click. And, it's the same thing if you're wanting to manifest a job or if you're wanting to manifest a shift in a situation. It's not that we're going to sit there and map everything out. It's that when you enter into this state, everything begins to shift and align around you and for you. And, you begin to see possibilities and opportunities begin to present themselves. So that's more so what we're doing. And so as we're playing with this week, I really invite you to notice. Allow yourself to be open to new possibilities, new way of seeing things, new opportunities, right? And as you are manifesting those things and receiving them, seeing them, share with us, because when you share and when you celebrate what's coming, you receive the blessings, you receive the opportunities, you receive the magic and the miracles. What it does is it builds the momentum for you personally, and then also for the other people that are here doing this journey as well. Okay. So yeah. So let's go ahead and take a breath. I feel like I'm sharing so much. There's so much moving through. So let's just take a breath and just allow yourself to land. You might put a hand on your heart, maybe one on your belly. And I just want to celebrate you for being here, for saying yes to yourself. Maybe thank yourself for getting you here. Sometimes we stumble upon the thing that we need. We don't even know we need it, right? And we stumble upon it. So yeah, just giving yourself some gratitude, some love, some appreciation. Yeah, and then as we kind of begin to drop in, I'd love to know what your intention is. What is it that you would like or desire from being here? From devoting your time to this practice? What would you like to receive? Yeah, and if you feel like you'd like to share, you can drop it in the comments and let us know below. I'd love to witness you in that. Okay, so as we begin this exploration of energy, and I am magic, right? Tapping into your magic. I want to give you a little orientation. So your personal energy, you have your mental, your heart, which the heart energy is going to be emotions and also feelings. And, you know, when we have our emotions, there's the emotions that are sort of like wrapped up in story. And then we have like our deeper seated emotions that often feel like more honest and real. So I just want to name that so that, you know, if you're feeling emotions or feeling that energy moving, you can get curious, you know, is it I'm trying to find the words of how I want to name it. Is it from a story, or is it like a deep-seated feeling? So, because sometimes we're told things and then we have a feeling about it. And so that's more story related, right? So we have our emotions, our feelings, and then we have our body. So our body speaks to us. It's an energetic portal. So if you're feeling inflamed, if you're feeling like there's, you know, a tightness or stress, if you're holding it in a certain place in your body, there's wisdom there. If there's sensations of even anxiety or fluttering movement, right? There's also wisdom there. That's energy. It's moving. And then we have our soul, our spirit. So this is like a deeper, energetic, more true to who you are as a being. So a lot of the self-help work that people are teaching is, you know, of the mind and working with mindset, stories, and I'm a yes to all of that. And also what I've seen for myself and also my clients is if we're not anchored deep within ourselves, we can continue to loop in the same patterns and in the same stories and the same feelings. So to actually get deeper, to shift the energy on a deeper level, we have to drop. We have to drop into the heart, we have to drop into the body, and we have to connect to the soul. And what I've seen for myself and my clients, doing this work almost for 15 years, is that when we do awaken to that soul place, and for me, this is like a burning in my heart, a burning in my soul, a burning in my belly. I feel it so deep within me. It's like a fire in me. When I'm moving from that place, or when I feel that place in me calling me, I don't have to work my mindset. I don't have to sit there and tell myself affirmation after affirmation, like trying to get myself on board. When I'm moving from this place of soul desire or soul knowing, it is so much easier to get the other pieces into alignment, to click into place. And this is where I see a lot of people, they have these goals and they have these desires that they're setting from up here. Like, okay, I want to make $10,000 this month, or I want a soulmate, or whatever the thing is. And then they attract it. And then it's like, okay, now what? It's like the same thing. There's no like deep satisfaction. There's no like real deep fulfillment. And instead, it's like the hamster wheel of just doing the next thing, going after the next goal. And I've done this, I've done this in my business as well. So when we move from that deeper place, typically there's a level of ease and flow that comes with it, and also a level of deeper joy, deeper fulfillment, because this is the place that you're actually connected to God, to source. So God is within each of us. I grew up Catholic, and so, we're taught the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. And the Holy Spirit is within you. And so God is within you. And I truly believe that our desires, especially when they're coming from this deep inner place, not just a desire up here, but like a deep longing, craving, desire. This is an expression of your soul. This is an expression of how God wants to create through you. So even the way that you dress, right? Like it's an expression. If you like I love my sheepskin rug. It's currently on my bed. But that is an expression of my soul. Like I wanted that from such a soul level place, and it is part of an expression of my soul, right? This camper, this came from like a soul driven place. So living here, it's something that my soul wanted to express. My business, the same thing. And so whatever it is that you desire, maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's children, that's something that your soul is longing to express, right? In the 3D physical realm. And so when you say yes to your desires and you allow them to be birthed through you, you're letting God create through you. And so when you begin to see things like this, right? So even if it's you desire rest, okay, well, if that's a true desire and a true need, can you trust that God is wanting to create through you? So whatever the ripple is of that desire and you allowing yourself to have it, it's a blessing. It's a miracle in itself. I feel like something I've seen for myself, and I see this for a lot of other women specifically, when we're creating in our business, there can be all of this fear around being selfish, this fear around, a big one for me is like, well, if I start to step into my power, if I start to step into my magic, then it's going to disrupt my relationships, and my relationship might fall apart. And that has happened for me before. I manifested it, right? Because that was my thought. That was my fear. And then it happens. And so it's like, then there's fear upon fear, because it's like we see it happen, or it's already happened that way. And so then we're afraid to let ourselves have what we want, because we had this experience where we went towards what we wanted, and then it didn't go how we thought it would. And so what happens is then we stay up here rather than really coming into the safety of our body. And when I'm working with women, I just received a testimony this morning from a beautiful client, and she had a lot of fears because she had something sort of traumatic happen. And so she had a lot of fear. And when we began working together, and we dropped into her body, and she began to work through the fears, and she found safety, and she connected back to her power, not only did her relationship begin to shift, but old clients started coming back, and then new people started coming to her asking her to work with her. And she wasn't even like intentionally trying to get clients, but we just began to shift the energy, and then things began to flow. And so what I want to say here is, when you truly start to see and believe that what it is that's calling you and what it is that you really want, it is God wanting to create through you. And if God's wanting to create through you, do you not believe that it would create miracles and prosperity, and bring miracles and prosperity to whoever it touches? Right? So, okay, if it creates some ego disturbance in your relationship, do you not believe that that person then would see? Or maybe they would clear the fear. Maybe the fear bubbles up to be cleared, and then there's a deeper level of love and alignment. Because it's the hand of God, right? And you're saying yes to allowing that energy to move through you and to create through you. So, yeah, it becomes exciting. So when you begin to step into your power as the creator of your reality, not just of your desires, but of your reality as well, right? So like how you're actually feeling about yourself, and how you're feeling about, well, if I step into this desire, then this is what feels like it's going to happen, right? Or this is the story. Well, you're the creator, so you get to change that. You get to change your perception to love, to blessings, to miracles, to magic. That's the level that I play on. So when you begin to realize this, you begin to also realize and remember that life isn't happening to you, but it's happening through you. So you are an expression of the divine. So everything is going to be either fear or love. So either we're in our state of our natural divine alignment, or we're in a state of fear or illusion, right? And so that's where we get to notice, like, what are the stories, what patterns, what fear energy am I buying into? So for me, this gives me a different level of orientation. And I often like to ask, so when I'm in a state of not feeling clear, or when I'm in a state of feeling some anxiety or fear, worry, stress, asking God, okay, show me. Help me see this through a new lens. Help me see this through the eyes of love. Or if it feels like someone's doing a thing to me, right? Or life is like happening a certain way around me, I can ask God, right? I can ask Spirit, I can ask Source, help me see this through the eyes of love. What is it that I'm needing to see? Help me see in a new way. Help me see myself in a new way, too. So when there's a situation outside of you, or a circumstance outside of you, it's an opportunity to look within and to see, like, okay, well, where am I needing to get back into alignment with my divine nature and remember my power as the creator? Okay? Let me know below, like, is this resonating? Is it making sense? How is this landing for you? So I'm feeling for an example just to use as we kind of wrap today up. Before that, what I want to say is, when in doubt, nourish yourself. Nourish yourself. So I spent many, many months, I was so depleted. So a little bit about my story of the past few years. So I lost my home in Hurricane Ida, which was almost 4 years ago, and 3.5 years. And then like 6 months after that, or not even 6 months, maybe 4 months after that, my partner, he got into a car accident and he shattered his pelvis. He had a brain injury. And I ended up moving from Louisiana to Alabama. And, you know, he was in this whole process of having to learn to walk again. And just, yeah, we basically, like, we were both like having to start completely over. And it was really challenging. It's been really, really challenging. And, you know, I hit this point of everything that I believed about my work, everything that I even knew about God, you know, was up for question. Like, I had no idea what I believed. I had no idea what was real. I had no idea what was true. And, you know, before that, I had a pretty successful business. I felt successful. And I was in this place of like such a level of confidence of whatever I wanted. I knew that I could manifest, you know, that I knew that I could work towards it and bring it to life. And then after the hurricane, it was, all of that was shattered. I had no idea what was real anymore. And it really sent me into this place of post-traumatic stress, survival mode, trauma. And I was walking through it sort of eyes wide open. And also I was exhausted. I was exhausted because we were doing what we had to do in the moment to just move through. And also, you know, there was nights where we weren't sleeping because Ken was in pain, and the stress was like, I felt like I was drowning. You know, I was drowning in stress and overwhelm and fear, real fears about his health, about like what our future was going to be and all of these things. And, you know, I moved towards doing inner work and finding my way back to it. And what I noticed is, it was really challenging. It was challenging for me to focus. It was challenging for me to, you know, I would do some of the work and it was hard for me to hold the vibration. And so, before that, you know, it was super easy. Like I would do a meditation and then all day long, like that would move through me, or I could have a healing session. And then it was like for weeks I was in that vibration. And so going from that level of energy to like an hour after my session, you know, I'm already back in fear. It was jarring, you know, it was jarring. And I've had to do a lot of work to build my capacity back up. And what I want to say and share from this place is if you're really depleted, focusing on nourishing yourself. And when I say nourishing yourself physically, it might be mentally, like I would just play Abraham Hicks or different things that were vibrational, music that's vibrational, just to help shift my energy. Heart opening music as well could be really potent and powerful. Also nourishing your body with food. So our supplements, super, super important, because when our nervous system is super depleted, or, you know, our brain's not getting the nutrients that it needs, and we're in a state of stress, it's going to be harder for you to focus your energy. And the reason that I'm sharing this is because, you know, even me, so like I was doing the mindset work and I was doing these things, and then I'm like beating myself up because I couldn't stay in alignment, you know, and like I was struggling with an autoimmune issue and all of these things. And, I know that it can be challenging if you're in that level of stress. So if you are and you're watching this, what I want to say is like yes to everything that I've said so far, and also focus on the physical. So like drinking chamomile tea, letting yourself take some supplements, vitamins, like nourishing your body will help you. You don't have to do it all energetically. Let the physical nutrients also help and support you. So, yes. Like knowing where you are in your process can be really, really important and really beneficial. So, yeah, let me just see if there's anything else I want to say here. Okay, so what I want to say, what I want to leave you with today, whatever it is you desire, can you imagine that it's already done? Can you imagine that it already exists? So if it's wanting a home, like, can you imagine that that is already yours? It's not just an idea. It's yours. It wants to be created through you. If you feel like nudges are guided towards like a business and offering your soul's work, it already is. It's already wanting to be birthed through you. So rather thinking of it as something that you have to go do, if you're feeling it on that level, it already exists. It already is. And so then your job is to basically let go of the fear, the programming, the energy that is not really who you are. You don't have to go figure it all out. As you release and as you nourish yourself and as you claim who you are and remember how powerful you are, the steps will be shown. You will be guided. Things will come to you. Okay? So let me know below if this is landing. Let me know what it is that you desire. And I'll see you tomorrow.